Sure. Yes. And thank you again, Hitesh, for sharing all that knowledge and all the wisdom that you have collected and presented it so beautifully. So thanks again for
Indeed, it
that.
was great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yep. Okay. So let's look at the next speaker. Who do we have? Do you want to know that, Tasneem?
Yes, definitely. Why not?
Okay, let's go ahead. So our next speaker is a self-made personality. He has an administrative experience spanning more than 30 years. Wow. And all these 30 years has been in the defense. He is a firm believer that if you want to change things for better, start with self. He is a product of IATD Delhi, second batch. In this session, he is going to present the conceptual framework to predict and assess an individual personality for selection for a military leader. Wow, fantastic. I'm really looking forward to this talk. And I would now like to call upon our next speaker, Mahesh Kulkarni. Hi, Mahesh. Are you here?
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Wish you all the very best.
You to the spotlight.
Thank you so much.
I'm not able to hear you.
May I share my screen?
No, Tasneem, can you hear him?
I can hear him.
I can hear him.
Okay, great. All right, cool. Thank you so much, Mahesh. The stage is all yours.
May I start sharing my screen?
Yes, please do.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Volume is little low. If you can increase, would be great. Actually, thank you.
How is it now, ma'am? How is it now, ma'am?
It is still low. If you can increase a little bit more.
How is it now, ma'am? I'll speak.
Yes. This is much better.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yes, loud and clear. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Is my screen visible? Yeah. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Okay. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. We are in the different phases, and this program is being witnessed by world over. So I welcome everybody for sparing your valuable time and listening to me. Firstly, I would like to thank Mr. Kushal Jain and his team for giving me an opportunity. Well, this is my first digital presence, and I'm very excited about it. I have not been on any Facebook or LinkedIn or any visual this thing. So I'm very excited about it, and let's see how it turns out. I'm sure at the end of my talk, either you'll be totally confused or you'll be looking for more. Let's see. I hope you fall in the later half. I also would like to thank Dr. Rajan for inspiring me to follow my passion. And lastly, my daughter and my wife for tying up these loose ends about the Zoom and the connectivity. So today I'll be talking about the framework on selection of a military leader. You know that every year around 10 to 15 lakhs of candidates or aspirants appear for tests like NDA, NDA, OTA, IMA. And of these, around a couple of thousand are able to clear the written test. Of them, around say 30 to 40% are screened out on the very first day of their interview. And finally, around say few hundreds make it to the training gates of the academy. So I just try to analyze what is the framework for selection from say 15 lakhs to a few hundreds who make it to the training academy. The scope is very complex. However, I use the terminology called KISS, that is keep it short and simple. And I try to analyze the complete procedure. And further, in the second part, I'll also give you the technique for not only selecting him, but also quantifying him. That is the best part of it. How do you quantify a person? If I call Dr. Kushal Jain as 75 kg, everybody will agree. But if I tell him that on a personality scale, he stands at 402 out of 500, the next question you're going to ask me is, how the hell you reach this figure? So I will try to decipher this aspect of it. So let's start with the keeping it short and simple. How do you assess a person? How do you select a person? Firstly, there ought to be some qualitative requirements against which you're going to assess the candidates. So whom do you select? And who is the winner in finally reaching these academy gates? So I have a problem of plenty, that is say 15 lakhs. And on the other hand, I'm looking at what are the parameters against which to select these people. So as far as qualities or the parameters which I have to decide are concerned, I'll play a small little game. All of you have heard about the military leaders. What is so typical about a military leader? Firstly, it's a one-way entry. That is either you perform or perish. He has to take split-second decisions when the bullets are flying around, when there is you have to drop a bomb or a torpedo. Apart from this, it's an employment for lifetime. There is not much of churning around when you join a Army, Navy, or Air Force, and it continues. So once a soldier, always a soldier. So what comes to your mind? Let's say in case I'll give you a chance to you pen down one quality which you would like to see in a military leader. So the next question is, how do you further manage these qualities which you have listed? So just hold on, look at the qualities which I have shortlisted for judging the military leader. I'm sure the quality which you have listed, you'll find its presence in one of these four slides. So I further streamlined and called it as qualities of head to give a correct perspective. So these are emanating the effective intelligence, the reasoning ability, the organizing ability, and the power of expression. These all emanate from the mind. So I call them as the qualities of head. I'm sure some of your trainers, some of the audience would have listed one of them or something which is similar to this. The next is the qualities of heart. I'm related to body part so that to keep the concept clear and also to manage the qualities in a correct framework. So again, the qualities of heart relate to the social adjustment. These related to social adaptability, sense of responsibility, and cooperation. Each of them is a topic by itself. However, due to the limited time, I'll be focusing more on the techniques of selection rather than the qualities against which they are to be judged. So next, I look at social effectiveness. The military leaders are socially effective in the sense they are live. The liveliness cannot be ruled out. In the thick of action, if the leader is not cheerful, what happens to his subordinates? He has to take decisions on behalf of subordinates, and this is a very tricky situation. It's a life-threatening situations, and he has to take those split-second decisions not only on his behalf but on behalf of the soldiers command and who are in his very close vicinity. So these are the social effective qualities of social effectiveness which are very much required for a military leader. And last but not least are the dynamic qualities. I call it related to the limbs, the forelimbs and the legs, which are courage, both physical and moral, determination, stamina, that is physical as well as mental. So with these qualities, I have sorted out one of the axes of the Excel sheet. So let's look at the other axis, that is the y-axis, that is the number of candidates who are reaching this, reaching 10 to 15 lakhs. How do I solve this? The problem of plenty, I solve it by conducting a written test. That is to rule out, or I keep those manageable candidates for the interview. So from 15 lakhs, I get them down to maybe 3 or 4,000 whom I can manage. And of these 3 to 4,000, on the very first day, I again have a test on intelligence rating and a PPDT, which is something which I'll cover later. So I rule out those another 20 to 30% of these candidates. And now I have got a manageable number whom I can actually test in a qualitative way. So I have solved the X and Y axis. Now, what happens? These candidates are sent to various selection centers at different times of the year as per the academy which they are looking at, or as per the entry they are opted for. So what is the technique and how do I it's based on the predictive personality. I had to, a person walking on the 30th floor, only he knows whether he will jump or not. But I had to predict whether he will jump. He has not done such a thing in the past. So I had to be doubly sure, because it's an employment for the lifetime. And secondly, he should be groomed or trained in such a way that he is able to take a decisions, not only for himself, but for his subordinates, and he's a leader for life. So as my task has been made simple by my previous speakers, but because all of them have emphasized on the subconscious mind. What you appear is not what you are actually. This only the 10% what is shown to you, seen by others. Your behaviors or actions are all governed by your thoughts, and these thoughts are again a result of the good parts, the bad parts, the experience, the good experience, the interactions with your friends, families, school teachers, and all. It's all in the stacked up neatly in your subconscious mind, or maybe a subconscious mind, when you have the deep rooted grudges which show or come to the fore when the situation demands or situation comes. Remember, you had a fight with your friend or a spouse. How quickly she or he is able to relate to a past experience. She'll give out at the time, date, and the place where such and such incident had happened and what you had said. So it's all in the deep subconscious mind, which comes to the fore in a jiffy. So to have a framework, I need to target not his physical appearance, but his subconscious and maybe subconscious mind. How do I do it? So, well, that is the very tricky part. So the principle is that, as I said, we have to target the subconscious mind, because it is here that all your defense mechanisms, needs, what we had just discussed in the previous talk, everything is all stored and neatly stacked up. And these show in the form of your actions. So for selecting, I use 3 different techniques. These are independent techniques, independent assessors who who have a holistic approach in not only deciding whether you pass or failed, but at the same time quantifying your performance. So the first technique comes to fore is the Vansa, that is a psychologist approach. Here, the psychologist doesn't even see your face, but his judgment is based on the stress which is created on your mind by showing you 10 to 12 photographs in pictures in a sequence. So these pictures all relate to the qualities which we just discussed, related to head, related to heart, related to dynamics. A person sitting in a thinking mode, and if I were to tell you to write a story on him, if you just describe, your gray cells are not moving at all. But if you tell me what is going on in his mind, when I show him that person, it is actually you. So if you are told to write a story about him, you have to give him his past, what is that actions which have, what is that previous history to this picture, and what is the future of this picture to complete the story. So you have to give a past, present, and the future to this particular picture. Mind you, these pictures are in black and white. Remember, if you want to dwell something deep in your mind, you have to make it a color, call it a black. And further, to increase the stress, I have to make it slightly vague, so that you are able to dig up deep into your mind and come out with a story. Well, these pictures are back to back, and you get to see that only for around 30 seconds. So within that time, you're supposed to see a problem in this photo and this picture, and you're supposed to identify yourself with one of the characters. So that you are the hero or the heroine. Well, the girls are also joining nowadays. So you are one of the heroes or a heroine. You have to utilize all the resources what you see in the picture. You're free to imagine what is all around it in a normal day-to-day life, and you're going to make a story out of it. Well, that's a very stressful situation, because each person or each candidate has got a different past. He's got a different bringing up. How he has been brought up is totally different. He has got both good parts and bad parts, and from his colleagues, friends, school teachers, and all this has shaped his personality. So all this will be reflected in these 12 stories. It's so stressful that you will not even remember what you have written about this for the particular picture. And as I said, it's all these photographs are all focused on to get a focus in such a way that I'm able to focus on get the qualities which I want related to heart, dynamics. As somebody's maybe climbing a mountain, or within a group of 3. So why the hell is he climbing that? That is, your personality will decide what are the efforts you have taken, what is your aim to reach on top, and finally, did you reach it on top or no? So this is it, the story you have to make. So if you have a bit of common sense, you'll be able to track it well. The next phase immediately comes is about the words. These words are bombarded at a rate of say 15 seconds each. So you are supposed to write the first idea which comes to your mind, and make a sentence out of it. Well, if you start thinking, you'll miss out and the second or the third word, and the sequence will be jumbled up. So the stress is slightly reduced from the first phase, which is the writing the stories, to word association test. That is the second test. And finally is the test where it related to the situation reaction test. So wherein your mind comes to a maybe conscious level and you are giving a situation. So you're going on a cycle and you see a life, you see an accident, or you are going for an interview and such thing happens. So what are your reactions? So these reactions are captured. You have to write in the form of sentences, and these are all captured. Well, and after this stressful exercise, the psychologist has got the left-hand side, that is your biodata, in which you have written your schooling, something about your family, something about your friends, something about your achievements. So if this left-hand side, your personal data, what you have submitted, you have projected yourself as a hero. And during the stressful exercise, in case these performances do not match, so you're not likely, you do not know about yourself firstly. So these two things should match. So that is how the psychologist not only qualifies you, but he quantifies you. Say, how do you judge the mental stamina? So in case you have been able to write all the 10 or 12 stories in a very impactful way, with a lot of proper beginning, middle, and end, and you have given a nice conclusion, and you have fared well in all the 12, so where your mental stamina is very high. So that's how the judgment. These are the very specialists who actually analyze and neatly, and they are experts in the matter to not only qualify but quantify your personality. So the next technique which comes to my mind is the Karmana. That is a group tester. There is a GTO wherein the group dynamics are observed. You're a total stranger, maybe when you land up at the railway station, and these groups are maybe of the size of 10 to 12. So to observe the group dynamics, you are made to pass through activities like group discussions, group planning exercise. Some obstacles are there which you need to cross from one end to the another. So the group tester is observing you very keenly about your contribution in the group, whether you are a baggage who needs to be carried from one end to another, or are you, when you agree, what is the logic or what is the value you add to that group goal, or in case you do not agree, what is the logic or what is the reasoning you give to convince the group that this activity needs to be done like this. So are your aims or your goals higher than the group, or do you merely follow or contribute so that the group finally wins? So in a war, you never win a war single-handedly. You have to, together we all win. As a soldier, it's together we fight a war, and together we win or together we lose. So that team spirit or the group dynamics are observed. And further, the groups also has some activities with a full group task, half group task, and further leadership task, wherein you, to highlight your performance, these groups are broken down into half and 1/4, so that you are given an opportunity and your performance is keenly observed. There is also some exercise, extempore talks, in which you are at a very short notice, maybe 3 to 4 minutes of preparation, you are supposed to make a talk of maybe 3 to 5 minutes. It is seen whether you look at the audience or look at the group, look into their eyes and speak, how well you organize your thoughts so that the talk you give for 5 minutes is an impactful one. Or are you stammer, you are very not looking into the eyes, looking oblivion, and your thoughts go from A to Z and then again come to B, then come to X. So are these thoughts arranged in a nice sequential way so that you make an impactful talk? So this is what is judged by the group tester. And after that, the third technique is that of an interviewing technique. Well, this is a very common technique, and it is across the board, where the open-ended questions are asked to find out what are your motivation levels, what is your passion, what is your organizing ability, and all these are observed. uh, your body language, your eye movement, etc., everything is observed, whether to know whether are you the true leader, or you a borrowed leader, or are you somebody else's personality which you want to portray as yours. Remember, it is easier to wake up a sleeping person, but a person who is pretending, it's very difficult. And you have drums around him, he will not wake up. So this interviewing technique, you are able to probe deep into his mind and identify whether what are his relations with with his friends, with the family. Is it the circumstances which are deriving him, or is it the passion which is deriving him to join this? So these are all analyzed in a very scientific way. And here again, you are not only qualifying him, but at the same time quantifying him. So at the end of these exercise of 5 days, so all these three testers meet and then take a call whether he can be trained or sent for training into various academies before he becomes an officer, or before he becomes a military leader. So this trainability marks are added, and finally the merit is made. So this is how the selection takes place. So after coming, after having made the merit, I have got a message on the occasion of the World Trainers Day, Transformation Day. Well, this is a message from me. By touching someone's heart, you may increase your fan following, but by impacting someone's mind, you transform a person and set in motion a ripple effect, enriching billions of life. That is what we are doing. And there's a lovely presentations we had during the daytime. It's so enriching experience to listen to such wise people and personalities who are changing or trying to make a change to this world, which has reached I would say, a chaotic state now. So we are doing a noble cause, and I hope we continue doing that. So, well, if it was an offline session, I'm sure my audience would have said, enough of Gyan, batao ki kya karna chahiye, how to crack this particular selection methodology. Well, my mantra would be, the common sense is lacking. Common sense is very uncommon nowadays. Keep your common sense, keep your wits at bay, and also the originality. As it is called as a selection center, let those assessors prove that they are sitting in a selection center. Do not pretend. Keep yourself, make sure that he is able to understand, and you are aware of your weaknesses, and you are willing to improve further. So if he realizes that potential, then he is likely to select you and maybe send you for a training academy. Well, I have got, I hope I have kept my audience on the people who are not confused on the later half of the lot. And I'm sure it must have been a totally new topic, and that was my intention, to break the ice and come on a digital platform. Now, well, I'm not a trainer per se, but I will be shortly be launching into this field and trying my hand on it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mahesh, for sharing that such an insightful session with everyone, and giving us a glimpse of what the selection process looks like. I think the entire world kind of has some kind of an idea about it, but I think being a part of today's meeting gave us the opportunity to learn from you on the different aspects and what all we can learn from this. Right, Tasneem?
Absolutely. So much to learn each and every time. But sincerely, it was so much of a download that in between I got lost. I went into my internal thoughts. Then I had to again tell myself, okay, focus, focus, focus. And that is how, wherever you focus, that is where energy flows. It expands and it comes to reality. So I was again back listening to you. So I think, Aniket, we leave this forum right now with this note, handing over to two beautiful ladies who are sitting right in front of me. One is Ina Singh and another is Anita. We hand over the stage, this forum to both of them. Wish you
Yes.
all the very best, and you all can continue from here. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much.
Rock
Thank
it
you, Mahesh,
again.
one more time.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Tasneem, and thank you,
Bye-bye.
Aniket.
Thank you
That
so
was
much. Thank
yeah,
you
that
so
was
much.
so fast. Like time is running out so fast, and Tasneem is here from morning, and I see the energy still in the same way, same pace going on. So I really now want to welcome Ina. She is also so gorgeous lady over there. So I would like to compliment out for that. And she also gave a wonderful session. And also she is a good speaker. And we'll listen more about Ina by herself. And coming to myself, I'm a spiritual coach and a trainer. And this is also my first MC over here. And previous speaker also, he was the first digital speaking what he gave. So we are all breaking the barricades over here. Isn't it so? This is a wonderful transformation which is happening all over the world, and we are the part of this wonderful team. I'm very happy, immensely, feeling depth in my soul. And over to Ina. I just want to ask Ina, how are you feeling now with this entire sessions which is happening from the morning? The clock started from 6 a.m. and now we can see it is almost 5. Correct? So how do you feel?
Absolutely right. Thank you so much, Anita ma'am. Thank you so much. And right from the morning till now, I can see a lot of hustle bustle happening on the live platform. And along with that, the session we had in between as a speakers also, it was mesmerizing experience with live audience, with our own speakers, with our own MCs. It's commendable, it cannot be expressed. So, without wasting any further time, let me introduce myself. Ina Singh, I'm a behavioral soft skill trainer, parenting, and mind coach. I won't take more than that because today, right now, we all want to know about wealth, money. Oh, mama, because COVID-19 has actually made us feel the importance of money much more. And we all want to know how to save money, how to enjoy our money. How, when we talk about money, a lot of words come in our mind: moolah, wealth. Ooh, now the geniuses are in front of you, one after the other. They will take you through these things. Just keep your all the senses open, my audience. You will be learning a lot, lots of things, and I will also be learning along with you. So